Farm News Media presents Farm News 5.
The Michigan comeback story.
Michigan agriculture is again a bright spot in Governor Rick Snyder's State of the State address. Heads up, policy geeks, the Lansing Legislative Seminar is coming up next month. And Michigan Ag Commodities' Chris Betz has a look at market activity. I'm Janelle Brose, and this is Farm News 5.
Farm News 5 is brought to you by Ford.
Members of the Joint Convention, the Governor of the State of Michigan, Rick Snyder.
Governor Rick Snyder delivered his final State of the State address this week, a mix of looking back on past accomplishments and ahead to the state's future. And again, the state's agriculture industry was a bright spot.
Our agriculture and food industry. We have the second most diverse ag industry in the nation, and we should be proud of that. It's grown to a $100 billion industry. And to pick one illustration to show the kind of growth and potential is the Michigan wine and hard cider industry. I know some of you like that industry. To give you an idea in terms of economic impact, the economic impact of that industry is now $5.4 billion annually, up from $300 million in 2005. Think about that growth. And very importantly, as part of agritourism, we had over 1.7 million visitors to our wineries in the last year. So get out there and check out those grapes.
Michigan Farm Bureau President Carl Bednarski says Snyder hit the right high points, and the state's ag industry should continue to focus on food and agriculture processing innovations and expansions. Michigan Farm Bureau sponsored the Voice of Ag Conference in Grand Rapids. The 230 attendees had the opportunity to attend workshops, tours, and listen to speakers that challenged them to step up their game in consumer outreach activities and bridging the communication gap separating the farm and non-farm communities. Michigan native author, speaker, and agriculture advocate Michelle Payne opened the day-long program delivering her message of addressing consumer confusion with more emotion and less science. Closing keynote speaker Natalina Sense shared her concept, process, and results of her Why I Farm road trip and the resulting blog that chronicled her nationwide investigation into the hearts and minds of American farmers. 3 4-H Excellence in Agriculture Awards were presented to Melanie Barnes of Iosco County, Michelle Barnes of Calhoun County, and Tiffany Spadowski of Mecosta County. Tours included Byron Center Meats, the Grand Rapids Downtown Market, the Carbon Green Bioenergy Ethanol Plant, Swiss Lane Farms, Michigan Beer City, and the Career Line Tech Center and FFA chapter in Holland that gives kids from 17 different school districts the chance to learn about agriculture and careers in ag while meeting STEM requirements.
Students come in and they have no idea of where their food comes from. So having a pig in a farrowing crate and delivering piglets for the very first time, they start to understand our food system and understand why we do what we do in agriculture. And it's a chance for them to understand it, but then to go back to their friends, to their family, to their community, and actually share what they've learned and why there's a spot for them in agriculture.
When we look at ag education, one of the greatest challenges that we have, not just for ag education, but all CTE, is the sunset clause that's coming up on what's allowed to be used to meet core requirements that can be used in CTE. So an ag class could meet a science credit or a foreign language credit, a fourth-year math credit. That allows students to have flexibility in their schedule to be in those programs. We need students with skills, and those skill trainings can only happen if that sunset clause starts to go away. You know, we're not ready for Farm Bureau members to go out and make phone calls to legislators yet, but that time will come, and Farm Bureau's done a wonderful job of supporting ag education to help promote that end of that sunset clause.
Yep, we cover Michigan, from sandbars to sand dunes, cider mills to skiing hills, and farm towns to downtowns. We cover up north, and yep, we know exactly where that is. Yep, we cover Michigan because we're Michigan's insurance company.
Networking with Farm Bureau members, learning from expert speakers, and educating the state's lawmakers on Farm Bureau policy are just a few of the opportunities offered at the upcoming Lansing Legislative Seminar. MFB members who are passionate about Farm Bureau policy and issues affecting agriculture are encouraged to attend the February 27th event. Learn more at michfb.com and contact your county Michigan Farm Bureau by February 2nd to register. The Take Root Conference, Michigan Farm Bureau statewide farm succession and estate planning meeting, is slated for February 26th in Lansing. Attendees will be taught strategies to grow their business and secure farm assets for future generations. And hear from one of the best speakers in the nation on this issue, Jolene Brown. Registration is due by February 12th and can be completed online at michfb.com. And with a look at the latest market activity, here is Michigan Ag Commodities' Chris Betz.
Thanks, Janelle. All three made jumps this week. Commodities found support from a falling U.S. dollar after comments from the U.S. Treasury Secretary suggested action would not be taken to strengthen the USD. Spec funds took a more defensive tone this week in corn and wheat, covering a portion of large net shorts in both. This group also seems to want to latch onto a reason to own soybeans, growing a small net long in beans this week. Specs will also view ag commodities as a cheap asset amongst a surging U.S. stock market. However, fundamentals remain largely burdensome for all three. Moving forward, gains will bring hedge pressure, but spec buying could eat up offers given enough momentum. For more market information, go to michag.com. With Michigan Agricultural Commodities, I'm Chris Betz.
For more news and video, visit michiganfarmnews.com and the Michigan Farm Bureau channel on YouTube. For Farm News 5, I'm Janelle Brose. Have a great week of farming.